At Capella University, learning online doesn't mean learning alone. You'll get support from people who care about your success, like your enrollment specialist who gets to know you and the goals you'd like to achieve. You'll also get a designated academic coach who's with you throughout your entire program. Plus, career coaches are available to help you navigate your professional goals. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Beef up your morning ritual with a hearty steak, egg, and cheese bagel, or any of your favorite bagel sandwiches. Then kick it up a notch with any size iced coffee for just 99 cents. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for watching today on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. Heavy National Football League this hour. We'll get to our best bets coming up at the back end of the show, and we'll kick it off with professional sports bettor Paul Bovi, kind enough to join us in studio and make his trek over to Circuit today, despite it being rainy all week and F1 in town, traffic, and complete nightmare. Good to see you, pal. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me in, man. It's great to see you guys. It's been a while, but here I am. Yeah, F1's been a nightmare. It's a little rainy here, but we get through it.
You wanted to address this first and foremost before we get into what you're looking at this week. For people who listen and watch the network constantly, and they were taking in the best bets and the picks in the Friday Football Invitational, you were in it again this year.
I was in it again this year. Unfortunately, it did not go well. I'm not going to blame it entirely on the distractions that I've had because I have my hands in a lot of different things. And you want to be a landlord, you're going to deal with some things. And I've had it in terms of issues over the last couple months. But looking at this contest, you know, I'm a avid believer that breaks even out over the long term. I really do believe that. You don't lose all the photo finishes, you win half of them. Although you ask a horse player and they'll tell you they lose them all. But I looked at this contest and every conceivable bad break in the NFL just went against me. I mean, I had them all. It started with the Bills and the Ravens as the best bet in week 1. Of course, Derrick Henry fumbles the ball and I lose that one. And it ended with C.J. Stroud going out with a concussion against the Broncos. They had already piled up 100 yards of offense early in the second quarter. Davis Mills, and it crashes and burns. In the interim, I've got every game. The Rams, Eagles, I've got the Raider block kick. I could go down the list. There was 1 week I lost two totals. One in the NFL by a point, one in college on a 51 by a half. It was just... I could go down the list. It's a nightmare. Well, I didn't come out of my room for a week. Here I am, and I got to face the music.
So I think the biggest takeaway from this is you've had much better seasons, but you were also not distracted with everything going on in your life as a landlord and owning multiple properties and dealing with all the nonsense you've had to put up with. And that has had a major impact on how much time you can actually spend handicapping games.
I found myself putting in picks at a quarter to whatever time zone I was in, because I was in Toronto, I was in Mexico. I found myself putting in picks 15 minutes before and forgetting to put games in just because I had to divert my attention. Now, I'm down in the NFL this year. I've made money the last 8 years, probably 20 out of the last 25 or better, and I'm down, and it's a significant amount. I'm not going to lie, but in the end, I always get them, and I will get them. And I will end up this year positive. I know it. I feel it because eventually I believe in myself and I'm going to win.
Okay, well, let's get it started this week then.
Okay.
Okay.
Great job with the Derby, Breeders' Cup with the horses.
Yeah.
You cashed some big tickets. Good job.
And you know what? The horses this year have been great. It was my best Breeders' Cup, and you guys know this because I texted you Ethical Diamond, 5 minutes to post, 51-1. Play him. He's going to go off at around 20-1. I knew he was going to drop. The CAW complainers, whiners were, all you heard was, it's the CAWs, whatever. I knew the horse was going to drop, and I texted you the day before, $340 exacta. 2 texts, 2 huge winners. So the horses have been great. Thankfully, it offset the sports.
Let's begin here. In the NFL, what was the first bet that you made this week?
The first bet I made was the Steeler game over 44.5 because I felt as though under 45 was worth a hit. Now, it's up to 45.5, 46. And you look down the schedule, and it's correlated to what I now believe will be a Steeler win. Okay? This Bear defense, you look at this Bear team, 7-3. I mean, can you believe the Chicago Bears are 7-3? They have a 1-point win over the Commanders. They have a 1-point win on a blocked field goal against the Raiders. The Giants had a 20-10 lead with 6 minutes to go. Okay? They chuck the lead. Jackson Dart goes out. In comes Russell Wilson. They lose it 24-20. Last week, J.J. McCarthy, that was scary to look at. It really was. This man had 84 yards passing after 3 quarters against the Bears' poorest secondary that has been a sieve throughout the entire year.
Yep.
So the Bears have been very fortunate. And in this case, I like the Steelers. I think they're going to score points. And that's why I played the over. And now with the Bears down, all 3 linebackers, Edmonds, Edwards, and Sewell, these tight ends are going to run wild for the Steelers. And you know what? They're all up on props. And you've got Washington, Jonah, and also Freiermuth. They're all lined around 14.5 to 19.5. I don't know who's going to get it, but I think they're all going to get it, okay? Because they're not going to be able to stop the tight end. When Edwards has been out, TJ Edwards out, the tight ends have run wild against this team. In fact, you go back to the Dallas game, Jake Ferguson had 13 receptions when he was out in 14 attempts. And also Theo Johnson, when Edwards was out, he had 7. So, and last week I had TJ Hawkinson. I mean, I was just in agony watching JJ try to get it to Hawkinson and missing him. He still ended up with 3. I pushed the receptions. He went over the yardage quite comfortably, but he should have had 80 yards.
I think the guy will be Washington. Phenomenal breakdown. Good luck to you. How about Monday night's intriguing? There's a lot going on here with Monday night because Carolina's been an underdog in every game but one, and they blew that game to the Saints. Can they get to 7 wins here? And the Niners have had all kinds of issues, ATS off wins, going back since last Christmas.
So I took a flyer today on the Niners not to make the playoffs.
Wow.
Okay? It's a flyer. It's plus 425. Why did I take it? I could look at the path, and I understand they have Tennessee at home. They have Chicago at home. But I think we could make a statement about quarterbacks in the NFL. If you don't have protection, you're not going to be successful. By the same token, if you have protection, you're going to be able to pick teams apart. The Niners this year have 36 quarterback hits. To put that in perspective, the Broncos have 107. The Niners are in the bottom of the league in that category. They have 12 sacks in 11 games. They do not get to the quarterback. In case you missed it, Jacoby Brissett, 57 dropbacks last week, 0 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. The best they've done in the last few weeks is Jackson Dart. I think they sacked him 2 or 3 times. But beyond that, 2 times. They had 1 3-sack game, and that was against the Saints and Spencer Rattler early in the season. And that's it. They just don't get to the quarterback. So now you're giving Bryce Young a chance to just stand back there, and pick off his receivers, which I believe he can do. I mean, they had some issues at the receiver position throughout the year. They had a few injuries. McMillan, I think, sat a game. But Carolina should be able to score. Now, I played this game over 47. I sent you guys the tickets because I don't like giving out stale lines. But the reason I'm going to mention it, I still like it. There's some defensive issues. Bethune for the Niners, he's going to be out. Now, he had a 5-game stretch where he had 60 sacks and then went out against Arizona in the second quarter with 60 tackles. He went out in the second quarter with 3 tackles. He's going to be out. Now, on the other side, you got Roseboom, I think his name is. He has 91 tackles for Carolina, and he's going to be out. So this game sets up for a lot of points, but I do believe Carolina can stay with them, put probably 24-27 on the board, and maybe knock them off.
Okay, so the big bet here was the over 47.
Yes.
Do you get involved with team totals often? I know you bet the Steelers team total over here. Would you look at Carolina team total over in this game, or is it too late to play it?
Well, I took it at 20.5. Okay, and some places what they do is they'll just juice it.
Mm-hmm.
Some places fall asleep on it, and some places will move the number up. I mean, to me, 20.5 is kind of a key number. You want to stay under the 3-touchdown 21. That's nice. When it goes to 21.5, generally speaking, you need 23 or 24.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I play a lot of team totals because I think there's some edges there to be had.
Okay, so you are all about key numbers as well, obviously. You mentioned right away Steelers-Bears 44.5. That I'm seeing as high as there's a 46.5 out there, but I do see 44.5 minus 20 cents. Is that worth a play if people did not get down yet?
I don't know.
Probably not. Okay.
That's tough. Laying 20 cents on a total and banking on one number. I don't know that I would do that. I'd rather lay the 45 and flat. And if it ends 45,
that's totally fair. Totally fair. Yeah. Because you getting to know you over the years. I mean, these numbers every half a point. Obviously, it means a lot, and it has to. Like that's got to be like a learning lesson for people.
I sent you a teaser early in the week.
Hang on to that. Hang on to the teaser. Explain that to the audience, and we're also going to get into, because, by the way, his look at teasers, not exactly like the standard Wong teasers that we've grown to love for 25 years. He has a different approach occasionally. He'll explain that coming up on Follow the Money. Professional sports bettor Paul Bovi with us here on a Friday.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
'Tis the season for seasoned pork, tangy barbecue sauce, onions and pickles on that home-style bun. The McRib is coming to town, only for a limited time at participating McDonald's.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We continue here with professional sports bettor Paul Bovi in studio looking at Week 12 of the National Football League. All right, so I'm looking at the odds screen right now, Paul, and a typical two-team 6-point teaser at minus 110 if you can find it, to go up above 3-7 or to go below 7-3. Like you could look at the Steelers plus 8.5 right now and Arizona plus 8.5, but you didn't look at it like that this week. You're not afraid to tease in different directions. What did you do?
Well, I try not to cross a zero, but I will tell you that there is at least one very prominent book, which I'm not going to disclose, but maybe some people who are tuned into this will figure it out. They play with the teaser numbers. So, for example, right now on the Steeler game, on a 6-pointer, they have a +7, and you can cross over and take the Bears at +5. So when you figure out the line, you're getting 7.5 on one side, so it kind of makes up for going through the 0 if you want to do that. That's not my style, but what I'm saying is they're discouraging the Steeler teasers, and sometimes they discourage the favored team. So early in the week, or I should say 2 days ago, on a 6-point teaser, Carolina was +15.5, and I grabbed it and paired it with the Dallas Cowboys, who were 3.5, so I'm +10 and +16. So, and it's a -120. So sometimes on the teasers, and there's been a lot of discussion about teaser odds and what they're taking from you, there's always edges to be had if you look for them on the 3-teamers, on the 4-teamers, or in this case, if you go to this one specific book, and there's probably others that do it, that want to discourage teasers one way, they're always going to have that 12-point separation, and the separation is compensated for on the take side with the give side on the other one.
Very good info. Okay. Yeah. And then you're teasing up to 10 and then up to 16 as well, which is something that you don't hear about very often.
Well, you know, if you're giving me an extra 2.5 points on the game, plus if the Cowboys get it and stay within the 10, which I think they will because I actually like them in the game. There's a lot of reasons to like them, which we can go over. I'll have options going into the Monday night game. I could come back the other way. There's certain things or moves that I could make which protect my principal and maybe give me a double win.
Is it the improved defense and the issues in the Philadelphia locker room?
Well, it's not only the locker room, it's the their offense is languishing. They're averaging 23.4 points a game, 300 yards a game, which is down near 25th in the league. I think the 23.4 is 12th in the league. Lane Johnson is probably not going to play. More than likely, he is out. I think it's been confirmed. But on the other side, look, Dallas, you had Quinnen Williams. When Quinnen Williams was with the Jets and played full seasons, he's good for 6 sacks a game. He's great in coverage as a defensive tackle. And then you add Logan Wilson, also great in coverage from the Bengals. And you bring in or bring back from the IR Malik Hooker, who's a safety. So 3 pieces of that defense have been strengthened. And you're going against a team right now that they're just not moving the football. Barkley's not running. I'm sure you guys have covered this ad nauseum. But now you take Lane Johnson out. I got to give it to Dallas here. They have weapons. It's just a question of protection. The Eagle defense, they've been very formidable this year. We know they're at the top of the league, but if they're not scoring, you got to figure Dallas is going to stay within that 10-point spread on the teaser. But I also give them a good shot to win this football game.
All right, you got 2 survivor entries left. What are you thinking here? And if you make another deep run like last year?
Yeah, last year, I'm going to tell you, I'm still having nightmares, but got to get over that and, hoping for the best here. I think anybody...
It's been a year. You're not going to get over it.
It's just something that just sits with me. Failure sits. I'm sure even the Invitational said. I told you I didn't come out of my room for a week. But anyway, 580 people have the Ravens. Anybody that has a single entry is not going to play around. They're going with the Ravens. And they'll probably bank on the Eagles to beat the Bears. We got, 780 people on who still have Philadelphia left. And onward, a lot of people, 904, may consider San Francisco, and I hope they do because, as discussed, they got a shot to get knocked off. But the future value on San Francisco is certainly on December 14th when they take on Tennessee. But then you have Jacksonville home to the Jets on that same day. And on the Thursday night, you have Tampa hosting Atlanta, which right now looks like a great spot for the Buccaneers. So there's a lot of questions. Will I go double Ravens and worry about what I'm going to worry about down the line? I don't know.
I have a single entry. I'm not going to use Baltimore.
You're not?
I'm not using Baltimore. Nope.
Oh, I heard you talking. You're going to use them against the Bengals and Joey Burrow.
Maybe.
I know what you're going to do. You already...
No, you
Mitch,
don't know.
you already tipped your hand.
I'm a total wild card. Nobody knows what I'm doing.
All right. Well, anyway, I would give the Bengals a puncher's chance against the Ravens only because this defense is down several notches. They have been exposed this year, and certainly Lamar Jackson, the protection is not what it was. So it's a consideration to go double Ravens right now, and I'm not sure. I'll make that final decision probably Saturday morning.
What do you think we're talking about here at the finish line? And this is impossible to predict, right? But do you think Pauly said 40 the other day?
40?
David Baker came on, professional poker player. He said what? He'd go over that at this point?
I would go way over that.
You go way over 40?
Well, everything hinges on an upset. I mean, if the 49ers get knocked off by Tennessee, all bets are off. I think you're going to have a lot of people on the Eagles on Thanksgiving, no question. And I think you're going to have, obviously, people are going to pile into certain teams. And, you know, if they hold up, you could have 110 people. You know, it's all guesswork from here.
Okay. You have an angle here with Ohio State and their team total in the first half that you like this weekend?
I do like that. Look,
has it been an angle all year for you?
No.
Okay.
No. I would only say that Rutgers' defense, and they started the year, gave up 31 points to a very weak Ohio team, which brought back no players on the offensive line. They were gashed for 700 yards by Oregon, near 600 by Washington. And, you know, there's a Heisman Trophy push here.
Yeah.
So I just think Ohio goes into the locker room with a 31-3 lead. This team, Rutgers, last week, they did beat Maryland. The Terps, 303 yards on the ground. It wasn't really that impressive. And they'll concentrate on Michigan after halftime, and that's the way this game's going to go.
Okay.
You got one more you want to quickly? You want to fade this move on the Temple game?
I do. Look, you look at this Tulane team. If Tulane would play Texas Tech, number 5 at 12, Texas Tech will lay 45 points on this team, and I will make a Joe Namath guarantee and say that's going to happen. This Tulane team, they had a 2-game stretch. Memphis and UTSA, quarterbacks combined, it was 60 of 67 for around 670 yards. McCown, 31 of 33 for 370. The Army quarterback, 7 of 12 for $125. Chambliss from Ole Miss, 17 of 27 for 307. Last week, FAU would have beaten Tulane if not for the fact that Velkamp, who was questionable going in, hadn't thrown 3 interceptions. And this is the guy that Velkamp, 296 a game. He's very capable. And I'm just thinking that Temple hasn't been to a bowl game since 2019. Simon, 22 touchdowns, 1 pick this year. And they could definitely stay in this game, and they will expose that secondary once again.
Very good.
Great stuff.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Want the ultimate Vegas weekend? VSiN and Circa have you covered. The first 100 new VSiN Pro subscribers sign up. Use promo code Circa. A free 3-night stay here at Circa the 2nd through the 5th of January, and a day bet at Stadium Swim for the final weekend of the regular season. 50% off the monthly price and a full year of VSiN Pro. VSiN.com/Circa.
For the radio audience, no notes for Paul Bovi.
Yeah, baby.
No notes, all top of the head. Great stuff. Good to see you again. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah.
Up next, home favorites in this role are 60% plus over the last 100 games. I'll provide the full details coming up next year on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board here on a Football Friday. Coming up in 15 minutes, our best bets for the week. In Pocket plays at that time. We haven't even talked about the Sunday night game yet. Huge one, well, for both teams here, but the Buccaneers, man, they are not the same team right now, current form, that they were when Baker was lighting the world on fire like a month or so ago. And they're catching 6.5, and the total is 49.5. This is what I was talking about. In the Sunday night football roll, Steve Mackin, VSiN.com, home favorites of less than a touchdown have historically been really, really good. Last 103 games, 61, 40, and 2 ATS at a 60.4%. And that'd be the Rams.
Yep. Baker's been great in this spot. ATS off a loss, but I've been saying it every week. You got to get these guys back. When are they coming back? Godwin's questionable.
Right.
You're going to get Bucky back next week, according to Bowles. The other thing, the defense has been bad. And it's a bad job against New England. It's also a tough stretch here in the gauntlet. You mentioned how big this game is. It's also huge. Carolina might take the fields Monday night with first place on the line.
That could happen.
That's right there, too. So you got to get healthy and help out Egbuka. And the Opt AI loves him over. They really love Adams over, as Mitch mentioned earlier, but you got to be solid in all three phases. The Buccaneers were atrocious last week on kickoff coverage.
Yep.
It was terrible. 3 40-plus yard kickoff returns they allowed, and Buffalo was living with great field position and in Tampa territory. So you also had the lead in that game till Baker had the pick, but to score that many points on the road in Buffalo and lose the game and not even cover, that was a tough blow. So we'll see what they're made of here today and this tonight coming up Sunday next year.
You've been calling the Rams for, I think, a couple of weeks the most complete team in the NFL. Well, here are some numbers overall, right? When you look at the advanced EPA numbers, they're 8th overall in EPA per play. They have the second best success rate, third highest EPA per pass as well. They're top 5 in both offensive and defensive EPA. I guess the one weakness right now, and it used to be much higher than this, like earlier in the year, but I got them for 27th in the league in EPA per rush. The Buccaneers have the 8th best defensive EPA per rush allowed. However, that I think was also much earlier in the season because they have been had on the ground now in recent weeks. Look at Henderson a couple of weeks ago. Look at how many points they gave up overall on defense last week against the Buffalo Bills. So I don't like the way that the Buccaneers are trending whatsoever, and the Rams have been a machine. I'm also wondering now, you know how we've talked about this with guests on previous shows about Seattle, if that's been a thing in the locker room about getting Jackson Smith and Jigba the all-time receiving mark, and multiple people have said yes, of course they're talking about it. I'm willing to bet that there's probably something here with the Rams where McVay is talking about it with his staff, saying, let's get Stafford the MVP. He could call it quits at the end of the year. Hell, if they win the Super Bowl, he probably does. He's never won the MVP. That's kind of a big deal for him. Then he goes in first ballot Hall of Fame, no question. Now, again, all that's easier said than done, but you're right. How about Devontae Adams last week, though? The Opt AI stats love him every week. He had 1 catch, 1 yard, and a touchdown.
That was it. And now you lost 3 starters this week. That happened, too. Safety's out, right tackle got hurt, Higbee's out as well.
Yeah.
But you have so many tight ends, that shouldn't be a problem. But I would think Stafford cooks here, and then plus the touchdown INT ratio is ridiculous. And we're up to, 24 rip now? Going back the last 7 weeks, 24 touchdowns, no picks. But the other thing, and I was thinking about this, because they are so bad on 3rd and 1. It's horrendous. He loves to throw the ball. It never completes it. They go for it 4th down. They get stuffed. They should watch what the Ravens did last week, because you have all these tight ends. Get some creativity with the tush push, because I know you don't want to use Stafford. But throw a tight end in there and get some creativity, because that's the one thing that could come back and bite them. It cost them, other than the special teams debacle, it cost them the Eagles game, and they're just atrocious on 3rd and 1. So bad this year.
How about this? We have a mutual friend who reached out to me during the show and asked if I wanted to go to the Browns-Raiders game this weekend. He's from Cleveland. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So his wife and kid wanted to go, and so he decided to buy 4 tickets and not 3, and now he can't give the 4th ticket away. I said, there's no chance I'm going to the game.
Yeah, right.
First of all, I love to watch all the games at the same time because I have bets on a lot of this stuff and fantasy implications, Survivor, whatever.
This one, yeah, come on.
Okay, so how about this? Cleveland is 14-2 under as a dome dog in this spot since 2016 when the spread is between 3 and 7 points. The Raiders, 17-21 ATS is a favorite. Now, this is, again, in my head, like I know what we're going to get from at least one unit in this game, and that's going to be great play from the Cleveland defense. I don't know what Sanders is going to do. You like him to go over his passing yards. That's fine. It's so low.
Why do you say that?
What?
Why? They stink on the road. You got to point out the home road splits.
No,
you can't say that because Gino.
Yeah, Paul. It's the Raiders we're talking about here.
It's a Jekyll and Hyde defense, though. I mean,
has it been? I think that was more last couple. Has it been again this year? Like every game? Well, they gave up 40 to Baltimore, but it was 240 yards early when they beat them.
Yeah, right. That you can't count. That's fair.
So their overall numbers on defense: 4th in EPA per play, 2nd in success percentage, 10th in EPA per pass, 1st in EPA per rush, 2nd in sack percentage, and they have the 4th highest INT percentage. Let's compare those elite numbers on defense full year to the Raiders on offense. 30th EPA per play, 30th in success percentage, 29th in EPA per pass. Why am I saying pass? Dead last in EPA per rush, 6th worst sack rate percentage, and the 2nd highest INT rate. Like, how are the Raiders going to do anything in this game? Gino was a turnover machine, and the Browns have that high of an INT percentage on defense, and we've watched it all year long. We think Genty's suddenly going to break one or multiple runs in this game. He's probably going to have 10 carries for -5 yards in this game. He's not going to go anywhere against this Browns front.
Well, the other thing, too, is you always, once in a while, you talk about sack props. You don't think Garrett wants the record? And also, if he gets 2 sacks here, he'll join Reggie White and Gastineau. It's the only players going back since it became official stat. 17 sacks through the first 11 games of the season.
Wow.
Just a record. How popular do you think the Raiders will be in Survivor?
I hope that they're very popular because I think they can absolutely lose the football game.
Yeah. Be risky.
Would you consider using the Raiders?
No way. But you have to worry about Cleveland. He hasn't won a road game in forever, and it's been ugly.
Here, I'm going to try.
I know the Jets thing was misleading with the 2 special teams touchdowns, but it's the unknown here is Sanders, and I'm rooting for him with the stats and my bets. But I wouldn't be surprised if he can put up numbers against this bad defense, and also exercise the demons if this is the 13, 14 game road losing streak that they have.
How about this? So ask and you shall receive. There is one book up right now with individual sack props.
Good.
More books. We'll have them out when we do the Sunday morning tailgate show at 9 o'clock Eastern here on VSiN. But the Hard Rock has listed a sack prop for Myles Garrett. Now, I will point out that a lot of times DK offers over a quarter sack. So on some of the players anyway. So if a guy gets a half a sack, that's a winner when you bet the over. Other guys have a half a sack, and so to go over that, you have to get a full one, obviously. Guess what the Myles Garrett sack prop is in this game? It's 1.5.
Oh.
So basically, is he going to get 2 sacks?
2 sacks? The
yes is plus 155. The no or the under would be $2. But I've never seen that before. But again, I haven't tracked sack props more than like 2 years.
Yeah. It's not a ringing endorsement from Barry, the GM, to come out and say it's like you're fluent in English and now you have to learn Mandarin about what Sanders has to do. But they didn't help him out, though.
No.
I mean, Bailey Zappi was running the scout team and everything. So I can't kill him for what happened last week. They threw him into a bad situation. He wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared, and the Ravens brought the house every play. But the kid's got confidence, and they're going to let him throw it, and he'll throw it deep and take some shots. And I agree with Samich that he's mispriced. This guy isn't Justin Fields. I mean, when you look at this, the prices you can get if he has 200 yards, or if he goes for, not to mention a blowout factor, which could happen. He's plus 250 to have 200 yards passing.
Yeah.
He's plus 330 to have 210 yards passing. And then DraftKings and FanDuel did a great job with all the Sanders props that they have as he He has, 25 yards each quarter plus $3.50. 40-yard completion plus $2.50. A 10-yard rush, $1.30. 100 yards each half plus $6.50.
Yeah.
Come on.
So we've talked about this on our own. Mike Samich brought it up as well, or a little bit earlier on the program. And that is, I think you have to bet him over as we're having this discussion because he's played a half of football. And yeah, it didn't look good, but he's also going to get a full week of reps now.
That's right.
So this number is priced, again, where Bryce Young almost was last year, but we have a 2.5-year sample size of Bryce Young. And it's actually priced a little bit higher than Justin Fields, but Justin Fields has been in the league for 5 years. You know what you're going to get with those quarterbacks. This dude, they might throw the ball 45 times on Sunday.
I like the tight end angle, too. Get rid of it. Hit Fannin. Get him going early. Hit Njoku. Safe stuff, easy stuff.
All right. We'll recap our best bets from last night and tell you what we've added for the weekend coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet for a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key. And that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Was on coke if his girlfriend was not done. These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your unborn children's children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
All right, love Fridays. A lot of picks the way it should be. And Mitch is right. We're running out of regular season college football games as well. In light of the low expectations for Sanders, the numbers are low on the Cleveland tight ends as well. I mean, Fannin's 25 and Njoku's 25. Interested to see how he looks on Sunday. Loser in hockey, the first period over in the Toronto game, but Fairbairn over again, plus money, 18-3 overrun, 1.5 made field goals. Boswell was low today as well. Go to the Caesars or Will Hill app, click on team totals. And then you'll go down and scroll to see field goals, and they'll be listed under the team. And both teams to make a 33-yard field goal, also a winner. Don't really like the card, though, for kicking props this week. It's a tough one. Sanders to throw for 150 yards, $1.50. Winston's back. I was expecting Dart, but the target should be there for Robinson. 50 yards, $1.50. Watson every week, play him. The deep playability and deep ball ability going against the Vikings, and they take a couple shots every game. 49.5. I agree with Charch. Chase Brown over receiving yards. Can't run against the Pats. And without Chase, even more dump offs for Brown in this one. That's the pending. And then the new Lamar Jackson. It's high. It's $1.90. Lamar Jackson, no interception. The Jets have one takeaway this year. Fewest in NFL history through 10 games. They do not have an interception. The record is 2 by the 2018 49ers. Lamar, no pick. Mahomes, no interception, $1.25. I can't believe I say it. It's risky. Got to clean it up. Had some horrible picks this season and of late. I've come around. London's now out. Kirk Cousins is on a 0-6 run with Atlanta. I think Atlanta knows this. 1-5 straight up, 0-6 ATS, last 6 for Captain Kirk. Not good. Probably play the under first quarter. New Orleans, 1-9 ATS in the first quarter, outscored 82-19. Boswell over 1.5 made field goals. This guy has been there every week since Morton said, I got to do a better job. Dan Campbell's been feeding him. Williams to have 50 yards, $1.70. Jonnu Smith under 16.5. I like Paul Bovi's breakdown, but he's gone over every single game this year. I'm on Washington, the big fella, who had the big 31-yard catch against Cincinnati and threw 3 guys to the ground. Get off me. 19.5 over. And taking a flyer here. Jags Cardinals. Highest scoring game of the week. Sunday. 8-1. I expect fireworks, and that should be fantastic with those two teams.
I want to give you some numbers coming up. More reasons why you need to like Shedeur Sanders this week.
You need to like?
To like, yeah.
Okay.
Rough couple of days after a nice stretch, but the Louisiana-Arkansas State game under 54 had no chance. 51 points at halftime. Hawks, good first quarter. After that, they gave up a combined 86 points in the second and fourth quarters to San Antonio without Wembanyama, Castle, and Harper.
You've been great defensively.
Awesome defensively.
Trae Young, yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Not last night. That dinged my, bankroll. Texans total team field goal got there as well. That's how I betted over 1.5. Earlier today, Alabama State plus the 3 against IU Indy. That team is god-awful. Fun story, cute story with the totals. They stink. Alabama State killed them. And the parlay I put in, Wisconsin got absolutely buried by. That was never a game.
How about that?
That game was going on during this show.
They're ranked.
Yeah. And I actually think they're kind of good. And if they are good, what does it tell you about BYU? So BYU got to, 98, I think?
Yeah, 98-70.
98-70, but Wisconsin could not hold it up on their end, and that was a loser. Okay. New plays for the weekend. Peyton Pritchard tonight in the NBA, over 3.5 made threes. You can still get this number at plus 136. So the Celtics take a ton of threes per usual, right? It's up around 45 per game. The Nets allow teams to shoot 39.7% from 3, second best percentage in the league for the opposing teams. His last 3 games from deep, 5 of 10, 8 of 13, and 5 of 12. That was against the Nets in their last game. Over 3.5 plus 136. Browns, Raiders under 36.5 minus 118. I also laddered that all the way below 27.5 at plus money. I have 4 different bets on the game, hoping nothing happens there whatsoever. Talked about this earlier on in Let's Get Nuts and Have Some Guts. Well, George Halani for Seattle is 13-1 to score a touchdown anytime. I think there's an angle here where the Titans have allowed the 8th most rushing yards, but the 2nd most touchdowns, 12 overall, to running backs on the ground. He scored against Arizona 2 weeks ago in a blowout. When they killed the Saints early in the season, the game was over with early first quarter. He had 10 carries in that game. He's actually had quite a few carries in the red zone this year. He's had 1 attempt inside the 10. He took it for a 9-yard touchdown. I think he's going to get attempts. I think this is going to be a blowout. So 13-1, that's a 1/5 of a unit. And give me Jacksonville and Arizona over 47.5 on Sunday as well. I think that game's going to be a shootout.
I like a Mike Somich prop. Tennessee Titans team total 7.5 under 3-1.
Damn.
I mean, it's their most sacked team in the league, and here comes Seattle. And I'm sure they're ticked off.
One of the best defenses in football.
Yep. And I'm glad Darnold addressed it as well. The turnovers are unacceptable. It's got to stop. They lead the league in turnovers. They have 20. And his interceptions. Minnesota has 18. So, but a lot of guys went to bat for him in the locker room and said, get off him, leave him alone. So, see if he bounces back. But that Sal Pal's right. That's the one thing that's going to get him come playoff time. Official horse racing partner of VSiN. First Bet, built for bettors who demand more. It's not about placing a bet. It's about helping bettors of all levels with handicapping tools that provide data-driven insights, help you make smarter bets. They give you win, place, and show probabilities for each runner so you can quickly and easily identify good value plays and improve your ROI. Or listen to Paul Bovi. He gives out 50-1 shots. Take advantage of the limited time $250 sign-up offer to claim your bonus. Promo code VSiN250 when you sign up in the First Bet app or at firstbet.com. Promo code VSiN250.
Okay. Here's why I think I'm going to add these bets on Shedeur Sanders, right? Have you looked at completions or attempts?
No.
15.5 completions, 28.5 attempts. Those are his numbers. So before Dylan Gabriel got hurt against Baltimore last week and Sanders came in, Gabriel started 5 games for the Cleveland Browns. There was one game there against Miami. It was a blowout, so he never had to throw the football. He was only 13 of 18. Every other game that Dylan Gabriel started so far for the Browns, all 4 other games, he went over 15.5 completions, and he went over 28.5 attempts. So if they were going to throw, Gabriel was a 3rd rounder, Sanders a 5th rounder, and again, he wasn't starting the first 2 weeks. They played him against Minnesota. That game was overseas. And right away, he threw 33 times in that game's 19 completions. That game against Pittsburgh, he was 29 of 52. In the loss against New England, 21 of 35. The game against the Jets, 17 of 32. If Gabriel cleared those 2 numbers in 4 out of his 5 starts, the one game he didn't, it turned into a blowout. Why can't Sanders go over those low numbers? Like, if they had Gabriel throwing that often, I think that this is all narrative here.
Both were good college quarterbacks.
Sure they were.
Can Gabriel be head and shoulders above him? I just think it was the coaching staff and the GM pushing back at the owner and saying, I'm pissed at you that you forced us to take this kid.
Right.
And they held it against him. He didn't get reps because he looked good in the preseason.
You know, he did. I mean, it was against the Panthers, 2nd or 3rd string, I think, at the time. But
well, I know. We were ready to put Dak Prescott in Canton, though, when he did it.
Yeah.
And look what he turned out. I mean, he was awesome in the preseason, won the job, was a great story. I mean, it's just the kid moved the ball when he was out there. It's not... Right.
I just, are they going to change their philosophy that much, going from Gabriel to Sanders, where it's going to be, oh, my God, the kid can't play a lick, so we now get Junkins is going to carry the ball 40 times? Highly unlikely. And by the way, you bet him 150-plus yards.
Yeah.
Gabriel hit that number in 4 out of the 5 games as well.
I think it's a good game to ladder. And I think it's a good game to mess around with some of that stuff, like 10 yards a quarter, 25 yards a quarter, 100 yards a half, stuff like that. You never know. And I will say this, and I hope your bet wins, but a lot of times when these bad teams get together, for whatever reason, it's high scoring. I don't know what it is, but that...
We might get defensive touchdowns in this game.
That could happen, too.
You know, so...
Yeah. Turnovers, whatever, yeah.
I'm actually intrigued. Not enough to go to the game. I don't like going to NFL games on Sunday. I want to watch all these games. I'd go to a primetime game, but I'm intrigued by that game overall. All right, Humans is out. Scott Seidenberg's going to sit in next 3 hours. The Friday Football Invitational. You have to hear what Jason Jarvis's best bet is tonight. He's won 10 in a row.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by argenx.